Hi guys, Cameron here, and today we have kind of come to Warhammer World on a whim. This is Gary, my friend. He has been my driver for the whole journey, and we have magically arrived at Warhammer World. I'm just gonna have a load of footage for you guys that I'm just gonna upload, and you've never been on camera before.
No.
That I'm just going to upload for you guys to watch. There may well be some music, there may well be some speaking. I have no idea what this video is going to look like, but we will have it. So, do enjoy.
And the one thing I'd like to say is this is the best trip to Tesco ever.
So we drove down from Scotland all the way to England, as you can see, crossing the border there, and arrived at Warhammer World. It was a little raining throughout the day, so this is kind of just a point that we were about to leave. Actually, I got that footage, but there's the Rhino there, the big Space Marine, as you can see, the Aquila in the background, Gary looking absolutely fabulous, obviously. This Rhino is an amazing beast. If I understand correctly, it's over the shell of a troop transport that they've bought, and it does actually work, certainly to the last of my knowledge. You can see massive Space Marine. Gary's like 6 foot something, so this thing's massive, and then me in front of the Rhino. But they also have Lurtz, and Lurtz is phenomenal. A lot of this footage is going to be of the Lord of the Rings stuff, because I know that's what my audience wants. But as you come in, you're met with this Aegis Sigmar Stormcast board against these Khorne demons, and then you can move over and you've got the Battle of Pelennor Fields here, which is obviously the one that I'm most interested in and probably going to recreate myself at some point. A couple of Mummics, Nazgul, loads of Rohan riders, as well as a bunch of warriors and a load of orcs, and there's a couple of trolls and whatnot. You can see a drummer there. And then you kind of pan over a little bit more, and you have the 40k Space Marines, Ultramarines of them, against some Sotek Necrons. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's all just great, and Lurtz is just to the left of it there. And then we kind of get a couple of cabinets with some real cool things. These are painted by various people. I've tried to kind of get their names in shot when I can, and these are just in the cabinets at the start. But yeah, a lot of this video will have the Lord of the Rings stuff and the Hobbit stuff at the forefront, and actually then even just some of the specialist games that you can see here, Necromunda and Blood Bowl, purely because that's what I like most of. A lot of it is the Halls of Miniatures. In fact, most of it is the Halls of Miniatures, purely because I can just walk around there and take some footage and show you various bits of it. But yeah, absolute fantastic day, absolute fantastic trip. If you haven't been before, please, please, please try and make the pilgrimage down. It is an amazing place. It's free to go into. I think it's $7.50 to go into the Hall of Miniatures, but it's definitely worth it. You can go in as many times as you want during that day. All of this stuff is absolutely fantastic, and yeah, it's just well worth it. You can see here, Bugman's Bar. This is where we had breakfast. I had all-day vegan breakfast, and Gary had the all-day breakfast. Very much worth it. And then this kind of table was something I really enjoyed, because we have 30k on one side and Lord of the Rings on the other, just separated by a wall. It really tickled my funny bone. Yeah, and now we've got into the Hall of Miniatures. So these are some of the first miniatures that they ever produced. I do apologise if this footage is all shaky, because it's all done on a hand cam, obviously. And then this kind of bit here, it really captures my attention. I love Space Hulk. Space Hulk is one of my favourite games. I own 3 out of the 4 editions of it, and it's just fantastic. You walk in, and this is what you're met with. There's loads of people walking around it, so I do apologise if you see them getting in the way and that sort of stuff. I tried to walk around people and make sure that I didn't get them in shot too often. But yeah, and as you can see here, the lights kind of reflect off the glass, so if that does affect the quality of footage, I do apologise. But yeah, I'm going to let this video kind of roll, and if there is anything that I kind of fancy chatting about as it keeps on going, I will do. So sit back, relax, enjoy watching this, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. This is what you can expect if you ever go to Warhammer World, if you've never been before. Here you can see some of the Cursed City stuff. It was missing Jelson Derak, actually. He should probably be standing in the middle. I did wonder where he was, but I thought I'd capture this purely because my channel has had a load of Cursed City stuff on it. I painted up 7 sets of it, so I thought I'd show off the official ones. And then here we've got a load of the Lord of the Rings stuff. So that's Arwen and Aragorn custom on a bridge. And then this is kind of the stuff that they're showing off for the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship being released. It's all beautifully painted, like really, really, really gorgeous. So I've tried to get everything in. I was in awe. I really was. It all is absolutely fantastic. So hopefully it kind of comes through in this footage that I've given you. It doesn't necessarily seem to just there on the Hobbits, but I tried to focus on things at times. So yeah, it's just wonderful seeing all this. You've got the wee Bilbo just here, which was released in November of 2001, November 3rd as the first ever miniature released. I did paint up one of him for November 3rd, if I remember correctly. I got it released on that day, and yeah, it's just great. That Weathertop was absolutely fantastic as well. This little cart, I do enjoy. The design team were badgered to make that cart, and eventually they managed to, and that was the first one made. And then these painted by Lewis, or built and painted by Lewis Collins. Absolutely fantastic. I've seen them floating around on the GBHL and on Instagram and everything. He's a fantastic person. By the looks of his painting ability, it's definitely worth it. But yeah, and then you've got the Breaking of the Fellowship there, which is a wonderful set as well. Mines of Moria down the bottom, absolute gorgeous. Real tempted to make this board somehow, someday, sometime. And then here we've got all the Lord of the Rings stuff that they had on show. So this is all the models they had, and you can see me recording there in the background. I've tried to kind of capture everything so that you can see all the stuff that they had, but maybe it's not coming through. You've got the Dunland there, which I thought was quite apt considering my New Year, New Army. And then we kind of come down here to the Corsairs and the Harad stuff. What I did chuckle to myself is that I've got more Far Harad stuff on display than Warhammer World do. They've got the Mummock here, the 2 half-trolls, and then the 2 Mummock leaders there. I've got my full Mahood army on show, and if you want to check that out, there's an army showcase on the channel. But yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous, these minis. The team have done fantastically painting this. It's just amazing. I am, like I say, in awe of all of this. We then come down here to the canned. We've only got a couple of Easterlings here. I wonder where the rest of them are. Are they potentially off being photographed for a new book that's coming out, maybe? Who knows? Yeah, we keep on going along here. And kind of King Elisar just there looked absolutely fantastic. And it's just all so good. One thing I do love about the Middle-earth design team is that they've got everything based exactly the same regardless of when it was painted. I would like to know their basing scheme, to be fair. But yeah, you have the new Rangers there and some stuff that might show up in the Amazon series with the elves and the dwarves that they've got here. It's all gorgeous stuff. Real good. And down here a bunch of Rohan, which, like I say, very apt for kind of what I'm doing, especially with the palisades and everything along the back. It's just gorgeous. And then the Moria monsters. What don't you love about that? Sam and Frodo there, I think, are the only 2 miniatures not based that way. Treebeard was missing, and you can see his arm lying there, but I don't know where he's gone to. Maybe he's getting a photo shoot as well. You got all the fancy ring wraiths, you know, the named ones and everything. It's just wonderful. And then here is, I think, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Lord of the Rings diorama display board things that they've got here. And this board specifically is the one that has kind of enticed me into doing my display board that I'm doing this year for New Year, New Army and Armies on Parade. This one is the reason that I am doing that. I saw this last year, fell in love, and even though I'm only doing like the 2x2, this is still exactly kind of my thoughts on a gorgeous display board and exactly why I'm doing it. There's just so much detail, so rich, and I would love to actually play on this board. I think it would be phenomenal if we took all the minis off, just left the terrain. That'd be absolutely amazing. And then here we've obviously got all the stuff from the Hobbit era that has been released. All of it looking fantastic. You got the Barrels Out of Bond, which is a set that I love, although you can no longer get it, unfortunately. And then kind of a load of the Lake Town stuff, which will be on my painting table hopefully at some point. And obviously Smaug with, well, should I say, the scenic base for Bilbo. And then the Azog's Legion stuff, which is, again, I have an army showcase of all my stuff that I've done for Azog's Legion on my channel. It's a phenomenal army. Going around the side, we've got some dwarves and then the Nazgul, which will be on a display board by the end of the year from me. And then you have got the Flame of the West, which is an actual sword from Weta that they got. And here we have, I think, the 100 chapters of Marines, so I think it's every chapter of Marines should be represented here. I can't remember exactly how it was working, but there's certainly a lot of Marines here. And we've got my Sons of Medusa at one point, and we've also got the Brazen Claws, which are what Gary paints. So yeah, it's certainly a fantastic look that they've got here. And I do think it's amazing how they've done this. They're all mainly the same Marine now, which I think is a good thing. There's my Sons of Medusa. It kind of just shows how you can do the different Marines and how they are. There's the Brazen Claws for Gary. Absolutely fantastic. It's real cool to see, and yeah, it's nice that they've done it. It shows everyone's chapters off. And then you've got the Diorama, the one that everyone knows and everyone's seen. Made a long time ago, but still looks absolute fantastic. And then I recorded this because I'm a massive Warhammer Quest fan. I'm real glad to see that they've still got this on show. It is something that they did have on sale still at Warhammer World. There was a couple of sets of it. And yeah, they're just lovely models. I'm real hopeful for another 40k Warhammer Quest. Really, really hopeful for it. Looks absolutely fantastic, I think. And yeah, a little bit overexposure there, but it's such a good set. And I'm glad it's still on display. And then here we walk into the biggest miniature display that they have. I can't remember exactly how many feet this was, but it was something like 12 feet by 8 feet. And there's this wee little description here. Now, the lighting is constantly changing in here, so I do apologise for that. But if I remember correctly, there was over 5,500 miniatures, and there was 1,200 scenery kits used in this. So I try and grab a couple of little bits of footage of this, showing exactly kind of what there is, how tall it is, but it won't necessarily show the kind of size of this. It's just such a cool miniature though. You can see all the little details, like the Helldrakes blowing fire, the drop pods that have hit. You've got Calgar up here fighting. It's just such a cool miniature, bigature, whatever you want to call it. Even just the flyers kind of pinned to the side, and that goes for land speeders and whatnot as well. It's an enormous kit. One of the things that you can do in here is you can find the assassin. So if you manage to spot an assassin hiding someplace and you're the first to do it that day, you will get a free assassin model of your choice. And that's something I just think is very cool. But unfortunately, we didn't manage to find the assassin, so we didn't get the free one. It is what it is, but yeah. This we thought was real cool. Two guys just sitting down, firing this big gun, kind of trying to prevent chaos from taking over. And yeah, it's just such a cool room to be in. As you can see, you come downstairs from upstairs into this little area. It's amazing. Absolutely astounding. There's a Warhound Titan, there's a couple of Reavers, there's about 5 Warhounds, including one that's blown up. There's a Knight that's just the legs, because that's blown up as well. And yeah, this Terminator helmet is just halfway there, and it looks cool, but it's certainly not the thing that you kind of focus on when you're in this hall. It's just, you've got to stare at this miniature for hours and hours and hours. We unfortunately couldn't find the assassin, like I said, but he's got to be hiding someplace in here, or she, depending on which assassin it is that they've got in there at this time. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous display, and as you can see, kind of going from ground level all the way up to the top, and that's where Calgar was fighting, just in there. You can see two Grey Knights just making their kind of last stand there. The Warlord behind him, and Grey Knights standing on the bridge. This swarm climbing up this side of the building is just fantastic. Unfortunately, kind of this camera doesn't really grab the details there, purely because the lighting is constantly changing. If they left it on the white light, maybe it'd be better, but unfortunately it's not. So you're just constantly getting a cycle through of loads of different colours. And here, this is just at the bottom, kind of the big display is behind me, and there's just a load of knights. And one of the things I kind of do enjoy is that on the carapaces of these, just kind of right there, you can see that GW used 3D printers. We all knew this. Why is this whole meme of 3D printers go brr thing a thing? They use 3D printers. They know 3D printers are great. Deal with it. Shut up about it. It's just nice to see that they've got some of these initial prints on display, all painted up, still looking absolute gorgeous. And here, we all know I'm a Kroot fan, so this was kind of the Tau display. We've gone through all the Imperium stuff, and I didn't really show any of that off particularly, but then you've got the Tau, all the Kroot on display. I kind of don't care about the Tau parts. It's just the Kroot I care about, obviously, and they're gorgeous. And then we've got the Vansars. It's who I play when I'm playing Necromunda, and they're just gorgeous. Absolutely wonderful. Painted very well. Whoever it is that painted them, hats off to you. And then some Eschers and kind of other hired guns, the terrain and all that, but those Vansars, oh, they're beautiful. Got a lovely display of Necromunda here. Kind of I have no idea how they managed to do this, but it's just gorgeous. And some more down here. And then this diorama I thought was just real cool with the way that this Tyranid's bursting through some stained glass windows. And that is the Warhammer World blueprints. That's a real nice touch to that miniature. Then here you've got some Chaos Ogryn and various things that I think now are out of print, but they're absolutely gorgeous. I actually have a Chaos Ogryn, maybe I've got a couple lying around. And then this is my favourite display that they have got on show. It always kind of has been. It's just gorgeous and it's massive, and I love how they've managed to do everything with it. You've got some stuff in the back that almost seems to be negating the battlefield that's going on, but it's just beautiful. And I'll just let this play on. I think I've got too much footage of this, but it's gorgeous, and I do absolutely love it. There's a few bits and bobs that stick out, kind of the drones up the back flying, and then you've got this Tau suit kind of billowing down some, I wouldn't say flames, but it's not flames, it's blue, onto the Warhound kind of to my right, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. There it is, you can see it. It's not a Warhound, sorry, it's a Reaver Titan, but it's all gorgeous. And like I say, this is my favourite one. A knight just blown up, just the legs. This is my favourite display out of all the ones that you can see at Warhammer World. When this goes, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be absolutely gutted. And then as you come out, you're met with the shop, and this is got, I think, almost anything that you could ever desire from Games Workshop or Warhammer, Games Workshop or Forge World themselves. It's absolutely amazing. And then here on the day that we went down, which is February 2022, you can see all the exclusive stuffs that they have got. So there's an exclusive Bilbo just there, as well as Grak and Cumberbee. You have 2 Bugman models, as well as I think like a Sorcerer and a couple of Knightheads, Terminators, books, and there's various other kind of like pin badges and that sort of stuff. There's a cereal bowl there, I was tempted by that. And you've got like a Titan head, if I remember correctly, Sanguinius base, pin badges again, Age of Sigmar models, and then various cups and bowls and that sort of stuff. I was tempted by a Thermistor cup, but I didn't get one in the end. And then here we just have some more Lord of the Rings stuff. Absolute gorgeous models. They truly are amazing. The old Three Hunters Aragorn just there. Fantasy Fellowship up the back. This is in the Forge World store, so this is where you can get kind of all your Lord of the Rings stuff, because it is in the Forge World store now. You've got some gorgeous models here. Saruman sitting in a Rohan house for some reason. And then down the bottom you've got some Battles Out of Bond display, which I thought was quite cool. And then a Bridge of Khazad-dûm. Again, I thought that was pretty cool, so I wanted to show that off. A few more things that are on display here. These are in the cabinets just at the back, kind of as you go into Bugman's Bar almost. So we've got some Hobbit stuff, but then we go into kind of a show of Titanicus. This is just a huge amount of knights. And yeah, there's various other models kicking around, which I thought I would show off. Lovely models. Phenomenal paint jobs. I've actually got that turntable that Azog and Thorin is on. That's the one that you see in my hobby vlogs each month. And then you've got these wee things. I don't recognise these trucks. I've got no idea what they are, but they're with the Aeronautica stuff. And I thought they were pretty cool. And then you got a load of Titanicus stuff. I love Titanicus, it's so cute and small. But yeah, this is again in the Forge World shop. And it just looks absolutely fantastic. Nice wee little airfield here. Just overall, it's gorgeous. And again, another look at the shop. This is again Games Workshop. I didn't actually get any footage of Forge World, unfortunately. This is Games Workshop. And a couple more of the exclusive things that they've got kicking around. I like these cufflinks. They're kind of cool. Might pick them up at one point. Pocket watch, and then you've got, here's the Titan head. And you've got the Warhammer World exclusive tanks. A couple of coins and badges, as you can see, and then the tickets and books that you can pick up from Warhammer World themselves. And then this was a nifty wee thing. It's the first model ever off the production line when they moved to this location, which I thought was a real nice thing to have. That's as soon as you walk in, just on your left. It's a real nice model.
So there we go, guys. That is the whole trip with a bunch of footage of us at Warhammer World and kind of everything that they've got going there. It's a kind of fantastic place. The food there at Bugman's Bar is absolutely amazing. Really, really good. Gary, what did you think of the whole thing?
So, getting there, having the breakfast, fantastic food, great service. The staff there they were just lovely. Getting around the Hall of Miniatures, oh my days, it is worth the trip, no matter where you are. Fantastic and best trip to Tesco ever.
It certainly was a good trip to Tesco's. I managed to pick up some Van Sars, the extra stuff for them, and Gary picked up one of the only squat miniatures that is still going, as well as a couple of like the coins that are available there from Warhammer World. There was a few other bits and bobs that we picked up, but they were mail orders, so they'll be getting delivered to Glasgow when they're made at some point. But yeah, overall, it's an absolute amazing trip. I'd highly recommend anyone going. It's definitely worth it. If you can get a game there, it would be even better. Unfortunately, we didn't, but that's because we've got to drive all the way back up to Scotland. As you can see, currently Gary is driving, and we still have another 3 hours and 40 minutes worth of the trip. So we've been driving for about an hour already, which just is what it is. But overall, absolutely fantastic. I'm going to do a bit of shilling now. So Gary, what do they all need to do?
Like, subscribe, comment, share it with a friend, and most importantly, if you can't make it down to Warhammer World, use his affiliate links, there's some cracking discounts.
That's true. Down below there is Goblin Gaming and Element Games, so please use them, as it does kick back to the channel. It allows me to go to Warhammer World and pay for the petrol to do this, so would really much be appreciated. But anyway, take care and bye bye.
Bye bye for now.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and use my affiliate links in the description below. Take care and bye bye.